The static-filled transmission that bleeds through your radio at 3 a.m. is not merely a paranormal anomaly to be investigated, but a profound frequency demanding you confront the isolation embedded in every failed connection and unheard plea. And true reception requires not decoding signals through technical mastery alone, but integrating the weight of spectral grief until listening becomes an act of radical witness rather than extractive curiosity. In Intercepts, Payne transforms the analog horror trope into precise exploration of auditory sovereignty and embodied accountability, proving terror isn't found in what lurks in it dark, it's forged in honoring the voice beneath the distortion when every rational instinct demands you tune out. From vacuum tube hum and rain static narration, listeners enter worlds where interference is syntax and presence is the only unbreakable signal, perfect for fans of emotionally intelligent horror where vulnerability defies final girl tropes. When amateur radio operator Alara Vance intercepts a distress call from a deceased broadcaster, expecting hoax or hallucination, she discovers the transmission's anguish mirrors the exact suppression she's endured beneath years of performative detachment. And fellow listener Julian Thorne's quiet refusal to dismiss her experience as hysteria creates space for connection defying skeptical hierarchy. Navigating haunted frequencies and buried attractions, Alara realizes this interception isn't about solving a mystery, but recalibration, with Payne avoiding reducing Alara to fragile sensitive or Julian to rational anchor, instead crafting radical reciprocity within constraint, where trust is earned through honoring boundaries even as the supernatural blurs them. An audiobook narration amplifies this alchemy by capturing Alara's disciplined focus fracturing into clarity and Julian's guarded intensity revealing warmth beneath vigilance, making listeners feel seismic shifts of souls learning some messages can only be received when you stop letting logic define their validity. What elevates this beyond typical horror fare is portraying spectral intimacy as somatic practice rather than sensationalized dread, with Alara confronting how rationalist culture equated worth with objectivity, while Julian creates sanctuary where her contradictions exist without diminishment. Their relationship evolving through shared silences during midnight monitoring sessions bypassing performance, rhythms protecting both psychological safety and operational integrity, and mutual defense against authorities mistaking empathy for delusion, supported by fellow operators encoding suppressed trauma, elders carrying intergenerational weight, and the airwaves themselves absorbing decades of unspoken bargains, reinforcing that in extraction-based systems, tenderness toward the unseen is technique, and presence is sustainable resource, with signal patterns mirroring emotional attunement, and frequency logs becoming metaphors for earned trust. For audiobook listeners, this production is an immersive descent into sacred reception, with narrators embodying Alara and Julian with remarkable distinction, sound design anchoring existential stakes through distant white noise, rain against antenna towers, and hushed breath syncing with moments of clarity, pacing mirroring broadcast cadence from deliberate reflection to surging awakenings, ultimately redefining analog horror by centering female epistemology within auditory frameworks, and affirming that sometimes the most powerful act is choosing to listen to the lost, honoring whole self, even in landscapes shaped by silence.